Hi Eagles, this week we have everything concerning gun violence and mental health. I'm Raina.
And I'm Claire. We also have some more lighthearted stories such as student-owned businesses and skateboarding competitions, all this week on your Eagles Perch. The talk of guns has been very big recently, and it's not in a good way. As of November 19th, 2019, there have been 46 school shootings just this year, according to CNN. So what's the government doing about it? Rena gives us her scoop on the hot topic.
The rate of gun deaths is 10 times higher than it should be when its socioeconomic status is taken into account. I'm Raina, and I'm here to talk to you about gun violence. Gun violence is ravaging our country. When asked about how often they think about the possibility of a school shooting, here's what our interviewees said.
Most days I really don't think about it. I mean, we talk about it all the time in political science and things like that, but it doesn't really affect my daily life.
I don't wake up every morning saying, oh, there's going to be a school shooting, but I know I'm aware of what's going on.
Every day I walk in the door, and depending on what goes on in the news, 2 or 3 times during the day, but every day before I walk in those doors, I consider it.
People react to intense situations in unique ways. We asked our interviewees if where they were and what they were doing in the building would alter their thought process during a school shooting.
Based on the teacher and how they would react, I mean, it kind of goes on whether they're going to stay calm or go crazy, because you feed off of other people's emotions, so based off of how everybody's going to react and who's in it and how well you know people.
I am responsible certain hours for kids, and for me, if an event happened, I would refer to my experience and what the expectation is during such an event. First and foremost, I want to make sure that I get my students into a safe place with the administrators in an event like that happens. I might be working alongside them to secure the building and make sure all possible strategies and information is given out to our staff and students. That way it can help them, and also
I think my role in the building would be the same as I do every day. Take care of my kids, children's first, protect the building, whether it's from someone interrupting on a test or someone interrupting what's supposed to be a peaceful environment. So I see my role the same.
Over 2/3 of deaths by guns are suicides, with America's rates nearing those of third world countries. Our interviewees had different thoughts about what American citizens can do to help lower those rates.
I think we all need to take ownership in the problem. That doesn't mean we all need to do the same thing or have the same thought, but we all need to engage in the conversation.
As long as we know how, I feel like as long as you know how to react in a certain situation and not go crazy and berserk, and as long as you're okay and are able to react, I feel like that's all you can do at this point.
Information of how the school reacted in a good way and a bad way, what procedures were followed, what wasn't followed. So that's one of the tough things about this is as I did a lot of research on these incidents and preparing our drill, you get articles and footage of the events, and it's tough to go through, but at the same time I have to also say I don't ever want Olathe North to experience this. So.
Gun violence is a real and current problem that is striking our country. We need to be ready to fight this problem as it crosses any community. I'm Raina, coming to you from Eagle Studios.
I think I know that one person tried to get on a plane with a shoe bomb, and because of that, we all now have to take our shoes off to get on the plane. How many kids have died, and we haven't stopped this issue? It's been more than one.
What better time to start your own business than high school? Paul has his own business at 913 Detailing. Check it out on Instagram. He comes to us with more info on the other entrepreneurs at our school.
Here at Olathe North, we have young entrepreneurs like myself. Me, I detail cars. Students like Justin Craig have their own clothing line. I interviewed Justin about his clothing line and what he thinks about young entrepreneurship. So, you have a clothing line, a fashion line of your own.
Yeah.
And what is that called?
Shock Lucre.
And what does the name mean?
So Shock is my last name, so Shock Lucre is the root to lucrative. So family wealth is all my name means.
All right. So, how difficult was it to get your business started as far as getting your name out there and bringing in customers to buy your product?
Honestly, at first, getting my name out there and getting people to buy it was actually really easy. I was very surprised, but I got most of the support from my friends and family around me.
What do you think about young entrepreneurs starting their business, especially in high school?
High school is a great time to begin a business and to pursue your passion because you have no bills. You really have nothing to take care of. Like, you can really focus on yourself and improvement.
And do you think entrepreneurship is a good step for kids that have trouble finding a profession or something to do with their life?
Entrepreneurship is fantastic as long as you're willing to constantly put yourself out there and constantly improve.
I also interviewed Principal Herman about his opinion on students starting a business in high school. Tell me, what do you think about young entrepreneurs starting their business, especially in high school?
I think it's a great opportunity anytime anybody wants to try to start their own business or try to create something in an entrepreneurial sense. I find it is difficult, along with everything else that's going on, but you look at some of the things that have happened even here in Olathe North, like Roach Percussion, and some of those different things. I think it's a great opportunity for students to start doing some things that are going to help them be successful in their future.
All right, and do you think entrepreneurship is a good step for kids that have trouble finding a profession or something to do with their life?
Well, I guess it depends on what that entrepreneurial opportunity is. Absolutely. Kids that go out and try to make their own, I think have a great opportunity, especially if maybe school isn't their thing. Maybe or they don't really sure what they want to do. Come in with a creative idea to go out and be successful is great. Ultimately, you got to do things the right way. And as long as you're handling it the right way, I can support any type of entrepreneurial opportunity for our students at Olathe North.
As you can see, entrepreneurship in high school is a very great thing. Students like me and Justin will continue to build our brand and make a name for ourselves. This is Paul Chandy signing out.
Every 4 years, the whole world comes together to celebrate athletic excellence in competitive competitions for their countries. This summer, skateboarding moves to the big stage at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Junior covers the details on the upcoming event.
Did you ever think skating would be in the Olympics? Well, in 2020 for the Tokyo, Japan Olympics, skateboarding will be one of the events. Skaters will comply with the Olympic charter to be eligible. There's 20 spots for 20 skaters, and 3 athletes will be directly qualified. They have 2 sets, a park set and a street set, which park is more mellow with half pipes, bowls, and stuff like that, and then street is more like hardcore stuff with handrails and big stairs. Some of the skaters that are on the list already are Nigel Houston, Lacey Baker, and Brighton Zuner. This is Junior for Eagles Perch.
Awareness about homelessness is rising more and more throughout the years and is a big controversy in Las Vegas right now. Amelia talks about homelessness and what the buzz is about.
But it is concerning the amount of homeless population. I know there's groups that help, but it's definitely, if you even in Kansas City and Olathe has a large homeless population. If you are early morning and you're driving down by the downtown library, there is a group of homeless people that are consistently out there. For the district, our definition of homeless is if we have a student who is living in a shelter with their family, if we have a student who their family is not paying rent and is living with another family, even if that is temporary, and they're not paying rent. That's the specific definition. Or also if we have students who are unaccompanied, meaning that they are under the age of 18 and they're living on their own.
Like, I understand for safety reasons why they wouldn't want people just sleeping all over the streets. Not to say that anybody who's homeless is unsafe, but just like for their own safety.
But if they're going to do that, then they need to make sure that they have other places set in place for people who need to, stay somewhere else. They need to have enough shelters. They need to have, and that's probably a massive group of people.
Last summer I visited Portland, and government there had recently kind of like taken a step back from restrictions, and depending on where you were in different parts of the city, like there were people that had like whole camps sites like urban camping like set up that had their dwelling like right there on the side of a street, and I know that the intention behind like passing laws to allow that was positive, but then they started seeing a lot of negative consequence of it.
Anderson Cooper did a story, and it was a group of people who have jobs. One of them was a postal worker. Like, she literally had a full-time job but couldn't afford to pay for a place to live because the cost of living is so high in Seattle that she was living in I think she was living in her like a camper. You know, that stereotype of Johnson County is rich. There is low-income housing. There are shelters. There's one not too far away from our school. But at the same time, I don't think as a whole the county does a whole lot to help out with the homeless population.
I have a dog, Raina. How about you?
I have two.
So whether you have a dog or not, we love our pod friends. But did you know they can also improve your mental health? Studies show that dogs and other furry creatures can help us be happier in our everyday lives. Mandy covers the details on the mental side of it.
Having a dog can improve your mental health in many different ways. Studies have shown that pet owners over the age of 65 makes 30% fewer visits to their doctor than those without pets. Having a dog can keep you from being lonely and can keep you company. People with dogs have lower blood pressure, are less likely to be depressed, feel less stressed, and having a dog can reduce anxiety. Dog owners also have lower cholesterol levels, and heart attack patients with dogs survive longer than those without.
Yay!
Having trouble staying in the routine of exercising? If you have a dog, it will be more enjoyable to exercise and you will be more motivated. There are also several more benefits of having a dog. My name is Mandy Griffin, and this is Eagle News.
A whole melting pot of cultures came together to celebrate diversity at Olathe North. From Olathe leadership to the flag parade, Vanessa comes to us with all of the details.
What's your favorite thing about Olathe North?
I just love all the kids. I mean, I think we have the best kids on the planet, and getting to know them is just icing on the cake for me.
Truly the diversity is my favorite thing. I think working in Olathe for me is really great because we have a lot of resources and a lot of different programs that our students and families can take advantage of. But here at North, I think it's a little bit special environment because we do have students from all different types of backgrounds, and they tend to participate in things together.
What was your favorite part about the diversity assembly?
Well, I love the entire assembly because since I've been here 3.5 years, many of my students were participating in the diversity assembly, and it's just so much fun for me to see the kids be able to share their cultural diversity.
I like that it's an all-school assembly. Really love how positive it was, and we also had 16 different performances, so we had like a lot of student groups participating, which I thought was really awesome.
Do you think every school should have a diversity assembly?
Absolutely. I think it's really important for everybody to be represented in a school and its activities, in their readings, in their work that they do in class. It's just important to celebrate how we all bring something different to the table.
It's fun for students and student groups to have a formal platform to showcase what they spend their time doing, whether it's a hobby or a dance or something that they feel passionate about or a skill that they have. I think it's important for young people to be able to share that with their peers in the school environment.
What does this assembly help us understand?
I think this assembly helps us understand that while we all come from different backgrounds.
Different people's points of view, and also skills, talents, interests that you might not know that your classmates have.
What was the purpose of the assembly?
The purpose of the assembly was to bring the whole school together, and really, I mean, it all ties into the UVU campaign, which is supposed to help young people just feel more comfortable being themselves and have more confidence, and so that they can stay healthy and make good decisions.
How do you think the student body reacted?
I think that they reacted really positively, just judging on behavior. When we were in the assembly, during quiet performances, there was not talking up in the bleachers. People weren't really on their phones or distracted. Like, it seemed like pretty much everybody was paying attention and really interested and engaged. And so for me, that communicates interest and also respect. And so I thought it was a really cool reaction.
I enjoyed the different looks of the Hispanic Leadership Club coming out in their dresses and their different outfits. I always love to see the Lowrider Club because I hope that someday I will get one myself. I mean, it seems like a perfect bike for someone middle-aged. The seat's low, the handles are spread apart. I just think it would be great.
I just loved the whole school being in the same room for a unified purpose. I thought that was great.
I was reminded that our student body is truly interested in learning about one another because from my point of view, being in the stands, kids were very excited. They were clapping. They were, just really, really getting into it, pointing out friends. It was a very celebratory feeling.
I'm Claire.
And I'm Raina.
And this is your week's Eagle Perch.